that to start. Come on here. I'm not as good at this as Gary. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Wrestling Show. The inaugural Day 1 pay-per-view from WWE is happening tonight. If you have Peacock, go over there and you can watch along. Or if they are in the UK or whatnot, you can watch it over on the WWE Network. Which, for some reason, WWE decided they were going to sell the rights to all their stuff and put that on Peacock over here in the United States and Canada and do away with the network over here. So, as Stacy says, don't shoot in hell night to hurry up. Yeah, we were having a little bit of technical issues. StreamYard wasn't wanting to cooperate, but looks like we got that all situated now. So we are live, and so far tonight we have Mr. Jason Stewart with us. How you night?
I'm hanging in there, Rich. Happy New Year.
Yeah, and if you didn't notice, we got a new introduction video from Mr. DM Foss. I want to say thank you to him. And for those of you who may not have seen it, I'm going to play it again because it's just that cool. So what do you think about that intro?
That's cool. Well, when you first played it, I was like, did he do this last time? Did I miss out the debut or not? But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, he sent that to me 2 weeks ago after we had done the last show. Because remember, we didn't do a show last week because it was Christmas Day. But yeah, that was the debut of that intro tonight. So again, want to thank him. He doesn't charge us anything for any of that. He just randomly sends you the stuff, and I think that's kind of cool of him to do. So I want to say thank you to him for that. It makes my life a little bit easier. I don't have to go and try and put one together myself. Because,
Let me go down your list so I can say hi to everybody. G23's out there. Kingpin's coming. Burnaby Sanchez. Mystics out there and Buck. Say hi. Happy New Year's. I do not have a chat screen where I can type back, so just wanted to say hi to everybody.
yeah, that is one thing I wish StreamYard would do if they're going to change some things, is give the other panelists the ability to type in that window. It would make things so much easier. I mean, they have it now where you can actually moderate from that window. I can't make moderators, but I can put people in timeout and block users in there. Now, we've been joined by Ghost Tactical out there. Evening, sir.
Happy New Year, Ghost.
So, I guess we can talk some wrestling stuff since this is a wrestling show. And after all the wrestling channels out there put out their videos of all the releases in 2021, WWE released another person. But this time, it was by her request, so it didn't catch the wrestler off guard this time.
Corporate downsizing.
I'm telling you, that's what it looks like. Because not only have they been cutting wrestlers, they've been cutting other staff members too, and streamlining the divisions in the company. We've talked about it before on the show, but this seriously looks like they are streamlining like you would if you are going to sell. And there have been rumors that Disney has been looking, so that could be interesting. We got a couple more people that joined out there in the chat. We've been joined out there by Fiend Dog and Gunpowder Beauty. So, evening Fiend Dog, evening Jess. Hope your day is going good.
Howdy.
That's about the big news so far. I mean, there's really not been a whole lot this year. I mean, the year's what, 1 day old? Not even a full day old yet.
Yeah, well, how was your New Year's, man? Do
Eh,
okay?
I don't celebrate it, so I mean, it is what it is. I've never been a big into the New Year's thing. Yeah, I watched Arn Anderson's podcast earlier, and he had an interesting comment. When you quit drinking, New Year's loses its luster.
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of takes the fun out of it. Is how he put it. So, you know what? Far be it for me to argue with Mr. Anderson.
I've had so many bad New Year's that to have a nice, relaxing New Year's, just like any other day, and not get in any trouble. That those are the best New Year's right there. Basically, the best New Year's I ever had is the New Year's when I sit at home and don't do nothing.
Yeah. Jess says Tardot made it 8 years to being married to her. Miracles really do happen. Yeah. Hey, you said it, Jess. I didn't. That's all I got to say on that one. And then Stacy's comment back was only because you keep him locked in the dungeon, Jess. This could be true as well. But he's been coming out of the dungeon lately. So, and Defense Dad's out there. Evening, Defense Dad. Wrestling Hub, man. Anytime I see a story or them put out a video, I got to go and independently check it myself because that guy's been wrong so many times. Evening, Kingpin. Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah, I was just doing a bunch of other clicking.
Okay. Let's see, is that still playing over there?
Hey, evening, buddy. Did you catch Rich's introduction?
Yeah, we got a new intro.
Oh, yeah, I've been out there watching. I just couldn't jump in on time.
Okay.
Good to see
So
you.
I don't got to play it again. That's cool. Well, not the, you know what? I could play it again anyway.
Yeah,
There's people that came in. Yeah.
Roll.
Again, for those of you who may have joined late, that is courtesy of Mr. DM Fuss.
Makes me want to get up and start dancing, man. I'm moving, bobbing the head. I like
I know,
that.
man.
Yeah,
That music
it
is
gets me
catchy.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, when he sent me that, I was digging that music when I played it the first time after he had sent it to me. So I guess now we will do that is the intro, and the one we were using as the intro before can now be the outro. Yeah. They're having a little interesting conversation out there between Gunpowder and Stacy. Stacy came back with when I said that he's been getting out of the dungeon lately, that she lets him out occasionally for good behavior. Gunpowder then said, "True, Stacy," and Stacy said she needs a dungeon or a snake pit, and then Gunpowder's comment back was, "The only good kind of snakes are on her boots, aka the dead kind." So
There you go. Hey, I'll be right back. Just 1 minute. I want to get something to drink.
Snobby's super scared of snakes.
Yeah, people have irrational fears of all kinds of stuff.
I'm not afraid of snakes. I'm afraid of getting bit by a poisonous one and, suffocating to death out in the middle of nowhere all alone.
Yeah. The craziest thing is with snakes is the younger ones are the ones you have to watch out for when it comes to the venomous ones. The venomous snakes, the adults, you can be bit and not be envenomated because they have better control over what the young ones do. The young ones, when they bite, it's almost always an envenomation because they don't have the fine motor control skills yet that the adults do.
Plus, they do a huge dump as well. The older ones can kind of measure out how much they want to put out.
Yeah, it goes to the motor control. I mean, the adults have the ability to decide whether or not they want to inject any venom, and they can just like do a little drop if they want to. Whereas the young ones, they don't have that control over their muscles, so they have a harder time not envenomating than what the adults do. But a lot of time when the snake bites, again, we're talking about a venomous snake, a human. It's not because they think you're prey. They're not trying to envenomate you. They're just trying to scare you away because they're more afraid of you than you are of them. It's because you step on the snake, you can kill a snake just stepping on it because if you break any of their rib cage, you are in their ribs are extremely fragile compared to other animals because the way their bodies work and everything, they can't have really stiff muscles or they won't be able to move like that in the locomotion that they use. So when you step on a snake, you're almost guaranteed to break ribs. And when you break ribs on a snake, you are causing internal injuries to that snake. You're almost assured of killing that snake just because you stepped on it.
Maybe snakes should drink a little bit more milk.
The reptiles, they don't drink milk.
That's why they've got
They
such
did
brittle
that
bones.
no. They did in that James Bond movie. Remember the cobras or whatever was in his hotel room, and he poured milk in a little saucer dish and put it on the floor, and that snake ran right over to it, just like a dog chasing a ball.
Which one was that? Because I don't remember. I honestly do not remember that scene.
It was the James Bond movie where the dude put out the milk in a dish and the snake went and got it.
I don't remember that. So I'm asking, do you remember which movie that was?
No, all the James Bonds are about the same to me. I think it was Roger Moore.
That sounds like something that would happen in a Roger Moore one. Because he had more comedy in his movies than the other guys did. We've been joined out there by Stan. He said from SS Pawn. He says popping in to say Happy New Year and hitting the thumbs up. Thank you, sir. Fiend Dog says I was live and let die. I don't remember that. I remember him running across the alligators and crocodiles, which I always thought was funny as hell. Yeah, remember the scene where he's at their farm and they put him out on the little island and retracted the bridge and he gets free and he starts running across the back of them and they're like snapping at him as he's running across them.
Yeah, I think Salty Cracker did a part of that on one of his live streams or whatever. That was like real. There's a dude really running over the back of alligators.
Yeah.
He had to shoot that like 15 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they didn't have like the CGI and shit back then that they could use to do that kind of scene today. They had to actually do that for real. Could you imagine getting to work that day and the stunt director and the director come up to you? Okay, here's what we want you to do. We want you to run across 20 alligators and crocodiles. You want me to do what now? You know what I mean? It's like
I always like thinking about the movie that Jackie Chan slid down the side of that building.
Oh yeah.
And then when he got to the bottom, the director probably said, "Hey, can you do that one more time?"
Yeah, that was one of the Super Cop series, wasn't it?
I can't remember what. It was definitely one of the where he was overseas being a cop over there. Like it wasn't one of the Chris Tucker movies that he was in.
No, that wasn't one of the Rush Hour movies. Yeah, I think that was part of the Super Cop series, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Jackie Chan movies were were always fun to watch. Just because of the craziness that you would see him doing, and knowing that he's actually doing that crap. Because when over in Hong Kong at that time, they didn't have the budget to do all the special effects shit like they would do over here when they were doing a movie. You know, over here when you're doing a movie and you see somebody sliding down a uh, skyscraper like that, the skyscraper that is a model that might be 15 feet tall, right? Over in Hong Kong, nope, they were sliding down an actual skyscraper. It's absolutely insane.
How do you fight a guy like that? Like, you see Jackie Chan later that weekend at the bar, and he's flirting with your girlfriend, and you know he just slid down a skyscraper like 3 or 4 times in a row. You just let him have your girlfriend and walk away, or what do you do?
You shoot
Um,
him.
no, you can't have a gun over there, Jason, so that wouldn't do you any good. God, yeah, I think I just let it. I just walk away at that point because anything I say to him, I'm going to get my ass kicked.
You got to play it off sneaky, man. You got to go up like you're his friend and then shank him right in his throat.
Smack him in the head with a beer mug. But yeah, if
Uh,
you've ever seen his movies, you're just going to piss him off doing that.
yeah, that's why you gotta go with the stab in the throat. Ain't nobody's done that live in a movie. That's a one take. That's a one take.
I don't know. You never saw the one where the outtake where he had a piece of rebar sticking out of him?
Yeah, I've seen all that kind of stuff where the guy hit him with the baseball bat for real, and all the kind of different stuff that he's gotten really really hurt doing. But a good stab in the throat, I think pretty much anybody's done that.
Yeah, I forget what movie it was because they always do, except for Rush Hour. They always his movies always have the outtakes at the end before they go to the credits. And if you look at the one, he has a piece of rebar sticking out of his chest. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, you should be dead.
Yeah, he should be dead a bunch of times.
Yeah, he said on an interview, I think it was either with Jay Leno or David Letterman back in the early '90s, right after Leno had taken over from Carson, that he has broken every bone in his body at least once. He can't think of a single bone in his body that he has not broken at some point. Let's see where the pay per views at. Nope, they're still just running their mouths, so we haven't gotten to a match yet. I completely forgot we were streaming that because we got to talking about the Jackie Chan and the James Bond stuff.
I'm still watching the craziest football game ever.
I think it's been a weekend of crazy football games.
I'll
Gone
be
to
ordering
college.
my Jason Stewart special probably in a week or two, Jason.
Oh, you're buying a
That is
Beretta 92?
fantastic. Fantastic. You will not be disappointed.
So are you buying a Beretta 92 or a 1911?
No, I'm buying a 1911, but I'm naming it after Jason because he's the one that picked it out for me.
Oh, I knew it had to be one of those two because those are the only pistols Jason buys.
Only thing I have to determine right now is whether I get the titanium slide with the blue grip frame, or if I get the all black with the blue lock grips.
I like the all black with the blue grips.
No,
That titanium has a. I know what you're talking about. The bottom frame is blue, right? And the top shiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it actual titanium or just colored that way?
I'll just go get it. Hold on a second. And defense that it's going to be a Colt competition 1911 45 ACP. I'll just pull up the website real quick.
I'm not sure if that frame's lightweight or not. I know which one he's talking about, but I go for the all black one.
Yeah, they still just running their mouths. This can be one of them there pay-per-views where they don't do a match in the pre-show. It's usually about halfway through when they do the match if there's going to be one on a pre-show, and now they're still just running their mouths about things. If you're talking, can't hear you.
I'm just talking to myself.
Oh, okay.
I always get confused about when it goes back to the post. There we go. Okay, can you see that stuff now?
Yeah.
All right, here's the titanium model. Now that I'm looking at it again, the light blue grip frame, there's a different one. This isn't the same one. That's not the one.
That one's even up there on the top title screen there. If you want a bigger, prettier picture of it.
This
The
one?
very top. No, the right
Yeah,
there.
right. Yeah, that's the black one. That's option A1A. There you go. Where's that? Let's go. There it is. Look,
Ooh, I like that one.
yeah, the one I was looking at had a dark blue grip frame.
Yeah, that I like the looks of that two-tone one that you clicked on, not that one.
I got one of those.
Oh, I guess this is. I feel like there's a different one.
I'm not sure, King Fan. I think that's the one.
Oh, no, never mind. I thought this was a dark blue grip frame, like this Colt blue up here.
No, it's not. It's
No,
I don't know. It's a funny blue. It's kind of like a, I don't know. Good. Slide down a little bit. And click down here. It says specifications or something, and see if it lists that color.
grips gray.
It just says blue.
Yeah, I know. It's like a. It's not a navy blue. It's a. I don't know. It's a different kind of blue.
I'm still digging that two-tone.
Yeah.
That
I
looks
got
nice.
I got one of these. Now there's a difference in these and the other ones. This one's the plus. It's got front checkering on the front mainspring there, or the grip frame.
Right here.
The other ones don't. They just came out with it. I have it like this, or the two-tone, and it's just the regular competition. It doesn't have that front checkering. But let me tell you what, with these grips, you don't need any of that. You really don't need that checkering. That gun feels sweet. If you look right underneath the magazine release, you see how that's got that hump right there that's notched out higher.
Mm-hmm.
That makes everything really comfortable, man. It does. Yeah. So this is a good gun, man.
Yeah, this
It
is the
really
one I'm
is.
gonna get. Since the other one's not the dark blue like I thought it was, this is gonna be the one I'm gonna get.
Yeah, it's a solid choice, man. And like that beaver tail grip safety, when you push that and it goes all the way in, it's just the overall the shape. Everything's a little different. Every different manufacturer and the companies they choose, but that's it's nice when it goes all the way in. And it's ready to fire. It's like smooth with the frame. It doesn't protrude any or have squared edges or whatever. It's just, and with those G10 grips, I mean, and that high cut under trigger, that gun just feels good, man. And it's got like I said, the dual recoil spring system in it. Adjustable. Those are adjustable sights on the back, but they're not the kind that overhang the back. So they're like Novaks. So it's a good deal, man. There's a lot in that gun for the price.
Yeah, the dealer said that same thing that you told me, that sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get the stuff from them and when they can get it and all that. But he I told him I'm not in a super big hurry, so I'll probably go up there next weekend or the weekend after that and order it.
Like I said the other night, we was talking. I searched all my places, and they were all out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. And then one morning, Midway had them. You know what I mean? You got to keep checking because they come and go. Like my dealer usually gets like two of everything at one time, and he's kind of really sometimes not in control of what he gets. It's just what they send him. But the Colts, you just got to stay on top of them. If you want a certain one, you just got to keep looking for it.
Yeah. Looks like we're getting our first match now too, so I'm going to unmute over there so that you guys can hear. Sound good or too loud? What's the deal?
Slightly quiet.
I don't want to turn it up too much more because I got my headphones on and I don't want to blow my eardrums out. So we got Cesaro and Ricochet taking on Sheamus and Ridge Holland, who is a former rugby player from the UK, and he's a big guy, not real tall, but you know, about the same size as Cesaro and Sheamus height wise, but he's got bulk on him. You know what I mean? So,
Good old Sheamus.
I feel sorry for Ricochet in this match. He's a little guy in there against two big guys on the other team. It's good old standby, the headlock. Cesaro is freakishly strong.
Yeah, that's impressive. The dude just this probably 260-pound guy just jumped into his arms and he held him there and then flipped him into like a body slam position. And this guy's probably 6'3", 220.
Cesaro's just freakishly strong. I I've seen him do the giant swing on the Big Show, and he's swung him for like 15 to 20 times. You know, that's where he grabs the guy by the feet like he's going to do a Boston Crab, and instead of flipping him over, just starts spinning in a circle.
They said they can't hear it out on the YouTube side.
Can't hear what if you're talking about the pay per view. Yeah, you're not supposed to. I can't have it where you guys can hear the pay per view because then I get a channel strike for copyright violation. So sorry about that, Defense Dad. If you got Peacock, you can go over there and watch it. I wish I could play the audio for you guys, but copyright laws and everything, it's just not possible. You get to hear us talk about it, basically, is what goes on. So. And it has happened to bigger wrestling channels than this one, where the audio accidentally was going through their feed and they didn't realize it, and YouTube hit them for it. Took
Shit,
down their stream,
they
gave
wouldn't
them a
let you
channel
play
strike.
Emmett Otter.
Yeah. Well, you were intentionally doing it too. They weren't. It was just an accident and an audio issue that caused it on their end, and they got popped for it.
Can you look into that?
Yeah, somebody got busted open if the referee has his gloves on, by the way, and they just said that Ridge Holland is hurt. I don't know if that's part of the show or if he's legitimately hurt. But
Looks like there's blood on the mat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like right underneath there. Yeah.
Now there's blood on dude's back.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty good gash and some good trickles, like a good trickly trail of blood. So doesn't look like fake wrestling blood where it's just smeared all over their bodies. It looks like a real, actual somebody got cut open pretty good.
Yeah. One way you can tell if somebody's bleeding is pay attention. Look at the ref. If they put the plastic gloves on, somebody got hurt. Where there's blood. The referees get to protect their hands, but nobody else does.
So there'll be a slight delay between the next match so they can clean up.
Well, this is the pre-show, so the next match isn't going to be for a few minutes later anyway. And back in the old days, man,
Right there, cut him open with his foot.
Yep.
Oh, his boots. Like
That's probably what caught him.
Yep.
Yeah, the shoelaces.
Definitely kicked him in his face.
Well, it's funny. I've been watching Tony Schiavone's podcast, and the last couple of weeks they were talking about 2 weeks at the end of December, right? Somebody got busted open on one show, and they never replaced the mat in the ring, and the blood was still on the ring for the show the next week.
Oh, I mean, it's not like anything in the blood could live that long.
No, that's perfectly healthy to the community and your well-being. Don't be a wussy.
Merely gross.
Just wear a mask.
There you go.
Uh-huh. The best part is that would have been 86, which would have been the height of when everybody was running around scared because of the AIDS virus.
I know it. I know it.
Yep.
You could see when his foot came off his chin, it kicked him right in his nose.
Yeah.
Hey, can I sue the WWE?
I don't see why not.
I'm gonna sue him for pain and suffering. That Sheamus is so white, man. It hurts my eyes.
The crazy thing is Sheamus just recovered from having his nose broken. Now his tag team partner's got a broken nose. Are they cursed?
He hurts your eyes like he shined a flashlight in a mirror.
Oh man, I've had my nose broken. That is not fun.
Usually things when they break aren't much fun.
Yeah. Well, in my case, just saying that I broke my nose is kind of an understatement. The bridge of my nose is flat. You know how the bridge of your nose is supposed to be a little bit rounded? Mine is flat from being hit with a hockey puck. It is an absolute miracle that my nose isn't crooked or something the way it was busted. I threw a hockey puck straight to the nose.
I should have had better equipment on.
Yeah, here's the thing about that. I don't know if I've told you the story before or not. I played goaltender.
Yeah, that's why I meant. That's why I meant. We've talked because I played goalie too. So that's why I mentioned it because you should have had a face mask on.
Well, it was between it was during practice, and I took my helmet off to take a drink. Right? I turn around, and one of the other dumbasses on the team who got sent home this day decided when I don't have my helmet on to do a slap shot at the net and hit me right square in the bridge of my nose.
That sucks. The hockey pucks are hard too.
Uh-huh. My nose, my eyes instantly was like somebody turned a water faucet on full blast. Blood poured out of my nose, tears poured out of my eyes. It took me a few minutes to realize what happened. I was just like in a state of not comprehending anything for a few minutes, you know?
We've been joined by YouTube royalty. Miss Vanessa Kitty's joined us.
Evening, Vanessa.
Here's where I'd like to be able to fast forward 5 years, 10 years, or whatever, and sit down with Sheamus in an interview and ask all three of these guys, like, what when you knew that your dude was actually hurt and wasn't going to be able to come back to wrestle, did you have a game plan for that? Was there a plan B? Did you just keep going through the match as or did you freestyle the rest of the like how did you continue the match without your partner?
Yeah, Arn Anderson has answered that question in the past. Because he was a tag team specialist for a majority of his career. You improvise. Once something like that happens, it's like the Mike Tyson quote: "Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face."
Yeah.
Everybody has a plan with a wrestling match until somebody gets injured. At that point, it's improvisation. You talk to the other guy through the referee. You figure out. When you see the ref talking to the other guys and stuff, they're trying to figure out what to do, and the referee can face to them what they're doing. If you see them talking to each other in the corner, that's what they're doing. So it goes to total improvisation from that point because the plan just goes out the window. A perfect example where the improvisation didn't go exactly as planned was probably 5-10 years ago, somewhere in that range. Chris Jericho was taking on Adrian Neville, who's now Pac, both of them in AEW. Pac breaks his ankle in the match. Jericho told the ref, who ironically enough was the guy that was refereeing this match, Charles Robinson. Charles Robinson, because of the noise in the arena, didn't hear Jericho say that the other guy had broken his ankle, and so Charles Robinson, trying to figure out why the match isn't going as planned, why Jericho's trying to rush the cover and everything. And he starts yelling at Jericho. Jericho gets up, pushes the referee, and says, "I told you he broke his ankle, motherfucker." And then Charles Robinson pushes him back and says, "I didn't hear you, motherfucker." And it comes across the microphones because WWE microphones everything.
That's pretty funny. All right. You want to do your evaluation of the first match?
It wasn't a bad match. I mean, especially when you consider that somebody got injured in the match and they had to improvise. That's when you tell the good wrestlers from the bad, is when somebody gets injured and they have to improvise. Or you can tell the good referees from the bad referees, outside of maybe because of crowd noise, they can't hear each other, like in the story I was just telling. So, taking all that into consideration, I'd give that match a solid 6, maybe a 6.5. It was a good opening match on the pre-show.
What do you think, Jason?
I don't know, man. I'm only gonna give it like a 3. It didn't warm me up yet, and for a pre-game match, and had Sheamus in it, so I'm gonna give it a 3. That way, I didn't rate it too high. That way, when the real matches show up, you know what I mean, I can give them an honest grade.
The crazy thing is, you'd be surprised how many pay-per-views WWE has done in the past where the best match of the night was on the pre-show.
I'm gonna go with a 5. I agree with Jason. I think it was kind of slow. It was kind of cumbersome. The guys those guys I know are all a lot more athletic than that. Most of the score is going to come from the guy getting hurt because for those of you watching at home, they did like a little flip thing on top of somebody, and one of the guys got kicked in the face, like a real actual kick in the face, and it ended up breaking his nose, so he had to leave the match. For them cleaning up after that, that bumped them up to a 5 for me because I thought that they did well handling the bump in the road.
Yeah, that's why I said a 6. Right what you were just saying. The way they kept on going, they didn't miss a beat pretty much. And like I said, that's when you tell if you're a good wrestler or a bad wrestler. It's when somebody gets hurt, your ability to compensate and improvise from that point onward.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
So while we're waiting for the main show, because now it's just going to be them running their mouths for the next 9 minutes. And Kingpin's not there right now. You got anything interesting for Christmas, Chase?
Let me think. Not really. I got a hot plate for my bullet molds. It's just a hot plate that you cook on. I got that for my brother. It's about the only thing I really asked for or anything. So, got what I wanted, I guess. Can't complain about that.
Is that gas or electric?
No, just a little electric deal. Yeah, preheat the mold, right? Helps you out. Helps you break in a new one. Yeah, and I got a little digital thermometer thing. You only got to have it turned up on like about 1 or something. Set your mold on there for an hour or so. Get up temperature and helps out. It's just a small little deal, like about the size put like one cook pan on or something. But that's what I wanted.
Is that one of the old school ones that has the coil, or is it one that like the newer induction type, or the flat top?
It's a flat top kind. Thought it'd have better even heat. That's what all the other reloaders, casters have. Most of them got them. I don't know if it's the exact brand, but it looks real close to it or similar. Came from Amazon. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's what our stove is.
An elite gourmet brand. Whatever, it works.
Yeah, those flat tops are nice. That's what our stove is. It's got the flat top. It's an electric and it heats up really nice. It's not like the old coil ones where you got to wait 5 minutes for the coil to heat up.
Yeah, we don't have much time, but even like my local Walmart and some places, they didn't have one of these.
Huh. It's crazy what certain stores will get something, then the same chain somewhere else they'll have they wouldn't have gotten any of it because the way the supply issues are right now. It's absolutely insane. It's like my son works the claims department at the local Walmart. He'll tell us that you got people coming from Cumberland looking for a certain item because their Walmart up there in the Vale, which is just outside of Cumberland up in Maryland, they never got a shipment of it. But down here, we did. And the stores are like a half hour apart.
Well, the untold story there is they called the store closest to their house, and the store was like, "Yeah, I've got one right here. I'm looking at it. There's 3 or 4 here on the shelf." So they drove down to that store, and it wasn't there. The person lied to them. Then they had to go call the other store. The other store was like, "Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 of them right here." And they just got lucky that they went to the store and it was there.
In some cases, depending on what you're looking for, it's not even at the store lied. It's by the time you got there, they had sold out of them. I've seen that before, too, with my own eyes, where when I was working at Giant Eagle, people would call and ask if we had a certain product. And you'd be like, yeah, we got like 3 or 4 of them. By the time that person got to the store, they were gone.
All right.
I've had that happen to me. It's just one of those crazy things. It depends on how popular or what it is you're looking for, how quick they sell out of it or not. Yeah, right now you see that a lot with computer parts, especially video cards. Those things just sell out so fast whenever anybody's got any in stock because the supply is so short right now.
What geographically, would you say in Ohio you live, Jason, like north, south, east, west, central?
Almost dead center.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just sitting here trying to think. There's at least 5 dudes that reload and cast and have YouTube channels that live in Ohio that I can think of just right off the top of my head.
Yeah, if you drew a circle, they're all within an hour. Scotsman and uh, MK Outdoors and people like that are more at the about 2 hour mark.
Yeah, because you got Scotsman, you got Daniel, you got Fuzz, you got Jesse B Outdoors, Mike. I don't know if he casts and reload though.
Got
Armament and
Chris from the
Axis,
740.
Chris. Yeah,
Uh, yeah, did you say Squatch? He's real close here.
I didn't know Squatch was from Ohio.
Yeah. Uh, there's others too. Uh, really, there's some other guys that are out there like James Pollard and a few other guys out there that are kind of like in the hour and a half range.
Yeah, yeah. Ohio's pretty deep, man. There's a whole lot of people in our clique, if that's what you want to call it, that are from Ohio.
Yeah, and it's strange. Like I don't aware of any like movement of Ohio people like spreading the YouTube word or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like we all just kind of got here to the YouTube side of things, all in their everybody's own different journey. You know what I mean?
That's the I would say, even though it's kind of already a thing, I would say in Every Second Matters Ohio chapter, but there is already an early watch, which is pretty much it came from the same people that made up Every Second Matters, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
So, early watch has definitely got a lot of representation in Ohio.
Now, before you came back, I was asking Jason if he got anything interesting or cool for Christmas. So, what about you, Kingpin? Anything cool or interesting that you got?
Do you know what a 55 Chevy Cameo is?
Vaguely.
Yeah, it's like a El Camino.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those old pickup trucks, like a
Mm-hmm.
long body or straight body pickup truck. It doesn't have the side step on it.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of those. That was amazing. My parents spent like $300,000 on this truck. It was crazy. No, it's one of the little plastic models,
Yeah.
and you
Okay.
got to paint it as you put it together. So
Uh-huh.
then we don't. I don't celebrate Christmas. My family, we don't do that. Like me and my parents is what I mean by my family. My brothers and sisters do whatever they want. But so we really don't get into doing gifts like that. So that was just kind of like a hi here anyway. And they gave me these markers. It's like spray paint
Mm-hmm.
and a felt tip marker.
Yeah.
They're amazing, absolutely amazing.
Dinner's ready. Let them know.
Yeah. Those markers actually come in handy for different things.
They're coming in super handy right now because I'm right now I'm painting the engine block. I'm gonna paint it before I put it together, obviously, and you can dab. Like when there's lines and different little tiny grooves, you can put a dab of that pen on there, and then take a toothpick and smear the paint around, and it covers nice and smooth. It's nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have one of them. I think it's a Sharpie branded one, but it's a paint marker that's for like metal and stuff that I used to touch up on the Mossberg when I was putting that together to shockwave on different, like when I had to grind the metal to get the heat shield to work and stuff. That marker was like godsend because I could get that into places where you couldn't get a traditional paintbrush. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got probably 50 to 75 models for a train set to put together.
No, that sounds like fun.
I've only done about 4 or 5 in 15 years. So I'm on my way getting there.
It looks like the main show's starting. They just had the FBI warning up.
Yeah,
They're doing the little intro video thing.
Yeah, Defense Head. This one's like a little plastic model that you got to like put together with glue and all that kind of stuff. I'm considering doing like a video about it. I'm not gonna do it. Like I'll film a bunch of it and then put it all out at one time. Or I might not even do that. So.
Yeah, real quick, I'll show you what the best thing I got this year was. I'm also wearing a T-shirt that my daughter and her fiance got me. But my little Benchmade here. It's not little. It means a decent sized knife.
Yeah, Defense Dad, same up. His folks got him a knife sharpening system this year. So he's been going to town on his old knives. Buck's back checking in with us, asking how everybody's doing.
Yeah. He's got a link if he wants to jump in, if he can jump in. Real quick, I gotta go get my dinner, so I'll take over Kingpin for a couple minutes.
Off the table.
You still got lag time at work, Jason? Are you Monday morning back at it?
Yeah, I'm Sunday morning back at it, man. I'm swamped. I can work every minute if I want to.
Yeah.
See, my job. I keep telling my helper, which I get there bitching, and everybody's bitching. Holidays do not count. They do not matter. These people make a down payment on a house to be built, and they sign a contract and get prices finalized and mortgages approved and all that process. And there's a deadline, whatever it is. If it's 120 days, if you don't give them person that house 120 days, you start owing them money, right? So like, and everything's behind. They're just like, they don't matter. Person signs that, they go, okay, your house has to be delivered. Here's the paperwork on this day. Like they don't sit down and figure out, oh, well, that's a 3-day weekend right there, and that's a holiday or this or that. They have no concern for that. Never have. So, but somebody's got to work on holidays, man. I mean, somebody's got to do it.
Most of the holidays I'll work on. This the line of work that we're in is different than yours. We're not in production. We're in customized, new stuff in people's houses and all that kind of stuff. So, and the same thing, my side work is just more of that. And right now, one of the customers that we're working for is in Hawaii, and my boss isn't going to do any more work until he gets a check from him. And then all the other customers are like, oh, family showed up and this, that, and the third. So, we've got houses that people are living in. So from Thanksgiving to New Year's is generally kind of wonky.
Well, I've always worked and we've been putting it out, but it's doing good, man. And bottom line, I'm making money. That part's okay. I mean, the more work I got, the more money I make. I don't get paid by the hour, so things are going okay, man. I'm fighting, holding my own, getting work done. Every trade's all screwed up, and everybody's started like back charging everybody and getting mad and all this and that. So pretty much everybody's getting back charged, but to make it better, they just go ahead and paid out you the up from my boss's price and other people's price. You know what I mean? Yeah, we let dickhead back charge you, but here we give you the same amount extra. So I don't know what's going on, but things are rolling, things are working. Yeah, we're actually got neighborhoods that for trying to serve two masters at once. I got other neighborhoods that like I can't ever get behind that one day. I got houses over there we're behind 5 weeks, and even like want to get fired from the job. And my boss got in a huge screaming fight with them the other day, and wanting to get fired from the job because we just don't need their work, and can't. They're willing to. Well, whenever you can get to it, man, get to it.
Yeah, thankfully, like my job, we've put in enough time and effort to where we don't have to take jobs if we don't want them. And there's certain contractors out there that you just don't want to work for, you know. And then on my end, like my private by myself, I don't have to do any of it. You know what I mean? Thankfully, it's just been a blessing for me. I've hooked up with a couple super rich people with real big houses that want me to do all the work in their house for them, and the majority of it's light drywall touch up and painting, which is really good. I prefer not to do drywall work on the side just because of the time it takes for the stuff to dry. But thankfully, there's plenty of that. And right now, I've got two houses in a neighborhood of like six houses, and they're all like $1 million houses. And they're already like, "Oh, my neighbor wants you to come by." So February, I go back to doing that. I got a real big job where I'm going to paint pretty much an entire first floor for these people in 4 days while they're on vacation. And if I can pull that off and make it look real good, then I'm going to be in a pretty good situation
Nice.
for the rest of the year.
Nice.
Let me see if the Bootios are fighting yet. Yeah, okay, the Bootios are in. Looks like no, this is still highlights from before.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. And it looks like we are getting our first match on the main show starting. So, yeah, Usos versus the New Day. I know you don't care for the New Day that much, but when these two teams get together, it's usually a good match. These two teams have some good chemistry together. Wow, that actually backfired on a heel team for once. How many times in the old days did you see that where the ref didn't see the babyface team tag, but he would hear the heel team just like clap their hands real loud and think that they actually had a tag? It actually backfired on the heel for once.
And see, that was so well done as you think back on it. Uh, the emotion that it caused you, especially when it happened to your favorite team,
Oh
and
yeah,
they
it
got,
happened all the time with the Rock and Roll Express.
you know, and like how pissed off at the ref you were. I mean, they really did a good job with that.
I'm just saying, it was the first time I think I've ever seen it where it happened with the heel team, though. He's getting ready to say there's 100 and some time that these two tag teams have met in the ring. I could have believed that too. These guys are always wrestling each other, it seems. Yeah, that reference to up, up, down, down. I don't know if you guys know what that is or not. That is Xavier Woods' video game channel on YouTube. The crazy thing about that up, down, down, down channel was before AEW was formed, when people weren't sure what the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega were going to do when their New Japan contracts ran out a couple of years ago. They actually appeared on Up, Up, Down, Down. You had the Elite of the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega taking on the New Day in video games. It was the first time since Woods joined the WWE that a non-WWE talent appeared on the channel playing video games with him.
Now, how did them guys get away with 2-on-1 for so long?
They got a 5 count, man. Some refs count faster than others.
Ooh, that sounds like chin music.
You know, Pat McAfee's comment there about the Usos. Well, those guys are the heels. Of course, they're willing to get down and dirty. I mean, that's the whole point of being the heel team, right? You play dirty when it comes to the matches.
No, no, no. Don't you yell at me.
I just saw what Defense Dad was saying out there in the chat. He's finally got 2 days off in a row. Yeah, working sales at Christmas sucks. It doesn't matter if it's a supermarket or a department store like Walmart. That is one job I do not miss at this time of year. Working at Greyhound was just as bad. Actually, now that I think about it, Greyhound may actually have been worse than working retail. A lot of people went through that Greyhound terminal between MKJO just joined out there. He's telling us to start over. I don't think that's going to happen. You'll just have to go back and watch the replay to this point later. I mean, if Peacock let you rewind, it might be possible, but you can't rewind live stuff on Peacock, so which is absolutely stupid. I think that you can't rewind a live thing on Peacock. McAfee bringing up the shoes. I seriously got to ask this question. I don't know if you guys have seen all these different variations that are coming out on the Jordans now and stuff with all the goofy colors and stuff. Would you, anybody buy those shoes? I mean, seriously, if you had the opportunity to buy a pair like the ones like Kofi's wearing, would you buy a pair of shoes that look like that, or that those red shoes like what the Usos are wearing?
Only if I had like a red suit to go with it or something.
Absolutely not, ever, never in my lifetime. And unfortunately, my best friend bought a pair of the Space Jam shoes with I don't know if it was Sylvester and Tweety or if it was the Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, but they're disgustingly hideous shoes, and he loves them.
I would not buy those shoes. We had the one being the elite video. We had a discussion in the comment section about it, and pretty much the consensus was no, I would not buy those shoes.
Buckeyes just tied it up. 10 minutes left, fourth quarter. It's been the most craziest game you could ever watch in your life. I suggest you watch it. The plays back and forth. This is a classic game right here. Win or lose, this game is an instant classic. There's been kickoff returns, stumbling, bumbling plays to take off for touchdowns, deep bombs left and right, interceptions. I mean, this is a very entertaining game.
What's the score?
38-38.
So other than the interceptions, both teams have forgot how to play defense, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah. We had we had an open touchdown. We had like four touchdowns in 4 plays, 4 passes with the offense. And it was gonna be five, and the dude fumbled it away to them in the end zone. And they got it, so that kept us. And then we drove right down there again. 1 play, 2 plays, we're all the way down there, and throw an interception. We came out the second half of this game, did that. Intercept 1 play, we're all the way down to at the time to score, and then throw an interception. And 2 plays later, and the other team get a touchdown every time. It's back and forth. It's just a shootout game, man. It's a complete craziest plays, craziest catches. Everybody's catching shit with one toe inbounds on a beautiful pass. Both teams. I mean, it's just a crazy game.
Yeah, the
Everybody's missing half the Buckeyes defense. It literally at the start of this game was missing 5 players that were starters. Then we got a guy kicked out on targeting, and then in a kickoff return that we gave up to them for a touchdown, 2 of them broke their damn legs and used the carts and the air cushions and shit to get them out of there. It's crazy, man. It's just a wild game.
yeah that
Oh, sorry. Back to wrestling.
yeah that stat line that you said about the quarterback with the 4 passes and 4 touchdowns. That reminds me of the first game of the season on Jerome Bettis's last season. He had 5 carries for the game, 3 touchdowns, and gained 1 yard.
Dude, I don't know what his numbers are now, but like a long time ago in this game, our wide receiver, the record for like reception yards and receivers like 210, 2 something for this Rose Bowl ever in history. He was at 277 then, and he's probably added at least more than 100, 150 to that. And Marvin Harrison Jr.'s kid, who ain't never played before, he's out here. He's on 2 or 3 touchdowns himself tonight.
It sounds like a crazy game.
Buckeyes have 542 total yards. The Utah has 419. So we're like at 1,000-yard offense game so far with 10 minutes left to go. There was 5 touchdowns scored in 2 minutes.
Sounds like back when the Rams had the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, this instant classic game, man. 2022 Rose Bowl. If you don't like the teams, this has got more action than your kid on a Madden video game.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I would put up 100 and some points on Madden. There were games I played on Madden where I had 1,000 yards at the end of the game. Not the season, the game. No. Madden, one thing that I will say about Madden, it's not very realistic.
I just tell you what, this game has big potential to go overtime.
MKJO was saying that he was watching Iowa and Kentucky and Notre Dame versus Oklahoma State. Who won that? Who won the Notre Dame Oklahoma State game? I forgot that was even on today.
Oh, I don't know, but the craziest play just happened again, and their quarterback was running all around and tried to get rid of it. And I think literally we've killed him. He's hurt bad. His like neck's broke. His body's he's
Oh,
yeah, it's not good at all, man. Say prayers for this dude. He's played his
yeah,
heart out all day long, man. Oh, look, they're all coming out now. And I mean, he's only been on the ground a second, and everybody's running for help.
yeah. That's when you know somebody is hurt. When the opposing team is calling for the medical crews, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, man. Maybe he knocked himself completely unconscious. Maybe that's what happened, man. Let's just hope for that. It didn't look like anything happened to like clothesline his neck or nothing, but not good at all. Sorry to take away wrestling. He was trying to make something out of nothing. He didn't want to get sacked, and they were trying to tackle him to sack him, and he just wouldn't give up. And man, he landed bad.
Yeah, that happened. That hop happens so often. It's unreal. Somebody just trying to extend a play or to finish off a play, and
Yeah, he got it all. He threw it as he was laying down, as he was falling down. He threw the ball to try to get rid of the sack. You know what I mean? And arm going forward and all that. But that made him not have his. I don't know, man. He hit the ground, his helmet.
mm, sometimes it's more important to protect yourself than to make the play. You know what I mean? You got to give them props for trying to make the play, but dude, sometimes your health is more important than completing that play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, say a prayer for this dude here, the quarterback for Utah. I did. I got a picture on the wall. I always ask for the players to get hurt, even the other teams. But I mean, there's been a lot of kids get hurt in this game, but a leg's much different than this. So let's. Wow, that was a smack off the top rope to the face.
Uh-huh.
Oh, of course, it was 2-on-1.
Yeah, it was raining here bad all day off and on MKJO. It was hit here, and now you're getting it. This weather's been nuts. It was in the mid 50s today. It's supposed to be 60 tomorrow, and then by Friday it's supposed to be in the 20s.
Oh, dude's back up. They're taking him to the medical tent. He's walking, so he just got knocked out. So that's
Okay,
cool.
good.
Yeah,
That's a good sign. I mean, he's still
yeah,
probably
knocked
got a
out, but
concussion or whatnot, but
yeah,
it could be a hell of a lot worse,
yeah, he was out with like your arms. You just know you're out or paralyzed, one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's always a good sign when they can walk off on under their own power. They were probably making sure that that's all that was wrong too. Situation like that, you gotta err on the side of caution. But while we've been talking about football, this actually hasn't been that bad of a match. Like I said, you get these two teams in the
Yeah,
match
just did a
together.
double splash.
Yeah, more often than not, you're gonna have a good match with these two teams. It's just they have very good chemistry together. They work very well when it comes to their matches. We're talking about earlier about how you'll have some pay-per-views where the opening pre-match on the pre-show will be the best match of the night. These two teams have done that in the past, where they had the best match of the night and they were on the pre-show. Just beat them with the Dudley Boys finish.
So this was a best of two match or something.
No, it was just a single falls match.
Oh, I thought that dude got counted out when he was holding him across his knee. The dude came off the top rope and smashed him in the head.
No, he kicked out. All right. So, what do you think about that match? Now that we're not talking about football anymore.
I'll give that a 5, man. Not that it wasn't good. I like some of those double moves, uh, the double teaming with the action because the other dudes did double off the top rope on a dude. So the action picked up, but I'll give it a 5 because I thought when it started out it was just going to be like the wrestling hold kind of move, and it was more like a yoga stretching chiropractor visit than a match. But it turned out to be high flying, so I'll give it a 5.
Yeah, these guys, like I said, these two teams, when they get together, this wasn't their best match ever between the Usos and the New Day. But when you put them in the ring, you're not going to walk away completely and totally disappointed by what you just saw in that match. They're going. These two teams, they just have a chemistry together. They just have an ability to put on at least a decent match, if nothing else. You know what I mean? Well, what about you, Kingpin?
I agree. I think you guys got it about right. It's pretty entertaining, but I think what takes the score down for me a little bit is the repetitiveness. Because like now, I'm kind of used to seeing these guys wrestle each other, but it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that says more about WWE's tag division than it does anything else because Vince McMahon has said repeatedly that he is not a fan of tag team wrestling. So sadly, you don't have a whole lot of tag teams in the WWE, so you're going to get that kind of repetition. And it's not the fault of the guys in the ring; it's the fault of management. You know.
MKJO said Utah Kid walked off on his own.
Yeah, he walked off on his own power.
Oh, okay. And then live shot of an 8 or 9 pointer. And then he wanted to know how many matches are left.
I'm not sure how many matches there are because they've had some issues with the cough going around in there, and some of the matches have had to be changed. The main event has been changed. Roman Reigns has been removed from the match because he tested positive, so which is horrible for him with his medical history that he's had. And so the main event, I don't know if it's still going to be for the Universal Championship, but it's a 5-way dance now instead of Roman defending against Brock Lesnar. So I'm not. I honestly I don't know MKJO, but that was the first match of the night. Just to give you an idea, we still got a little while to go yet, and that match went almost a half hour. So just to give you an idea how good these two teams are when they do actually get together, which again happens a little too frequently. But again, management there is at fault. I mean, it's which with WWE most of the time is the problem. So, anyway, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. MKGO, yeah, the interview was Biggie was being interviewed when you asked that question. Now I don't know who these people were. I just got back. I have no idea who's on screen right now.
Kitty, what are you bitching about?
Either of you know who these guys are? I have no idea.
That's some rap group called the Migos.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
Cool, man. Buckeyes just took the lead. Amazing pass, amazing catch in like 1 inch of the end zone while being pass interference.
Let's see. Looks like we got another match coming up here. So now we got Happy. Oh, that got loud. Is it just me or that just get louder?
No, it's not very loud at all.
Yeah, on my end, it just got super loud. Maybe my headphones volume got turned up.
No, it's actually pretty low on our end.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was my end. So when I took my headphones off, I may have hit the volume knob on the headphones themselves and turned it up. That guy wants to make sure his pants don't fall down. He's got suspenders and a belt. It's Lesnar and a couple other guys. They said earlier, I don't remember who all it was. I think he got Rollins in there. I think Owens is in there. I don't remember who the other two are. Yeah, yeah. There's a storm system going all the way from the south all the way up through the mid-Atlantic right now, Buck. A goat?
Oh, the people out there can't hear. He's telling jokes.
Uh-huh. Rick was a city bashing. No, not the city bashing. They're doing the opponent bashing. Yeah. Is it really smart to make jokes about a guy that comes to the ring carrying a sword? And it just I mean, it's a legitimate question, right? I mean, do you want to joke about somebody who carries a sword to the ring? Yeah, he's gonna go all William Wallace on your ass.
Damn, we just lost another player.
Oh,
Shit.
you're watching a football game right now that is the story of the Pittsburgh Steelers season this year.
Every play is a score. Every play costs a player. This is like a classic game.
I'm talking about the injury front. It's like everybody talking about how the Steelers can't stop anybody in the run game or anything. Well, half their defensive starters are out injured. It's been that way all season, and that their offensive line is a patchwork. So when that happens, you're not going to win very many games, you know.
Now they got the refs helping them out over there. Probably here in this game too.
The crazy thing you said is it's happening to both teams, right? Both teams keep getting injured players.
Oh yeah. Now that other team, Utah, they got a different quarterback in there. They haven't trusted him to do anything yet. He just got a first down for him because of our pass interference, but that's pretty
So he's
damn
back in the
questionable.
game.
Oh no, there's a new kid in
Oh.
there, and they're not trusting
Okay.
him so far.
I'm about to say that's a hell of a quick recovery.
I think if you're actually unconscious like that, they're not going to let you back in tonight.
Depends if you can pass the protocol for the concussion or not.
I don't know, man. These are still kids. You understand? These aren't the NFL pros, money and shit. I bet if you go to sleep on the field, they don't let you come back.
Don't forget, college players can make money now. That's one thing we haven't talked about yet is the WWE has actually started signing college football players and other athletes before they even graduate college, and are paying them money on developmental contracts while they're in college, still competing in the sports they compete in. because of that. What was it, Supreme Court ruling that said that they could make money for the thing. Remember when the whole thing was you played sports to try and get a scholarship, and that was how you were paid to play the sport? What happened to that whole idea?
Capitalism,
Is it really capitalism or stupidity?
greed, money.
Yeah. I mean, there was a day when you were happy if you got a scholarship. Now, nope, that's not good enough anymore.
Hey, a new kid came in. They just got a touchdown. 2 minutes left. They got a chance to tie it. I tell you, this is gonna be an overtime game.
Sounds it. But then again, you said he's already scored five. What was it? 5 touchdowns in 2 minutes earlier in the game.
Yeah, the refs gave him this one, man. They gave him two shitty interference calls in a row, 2 plays in a row.
You don't. How do you have a plan for being thrown halfway across the ring? You don't. Don't get in the position where a guy can throw you like that. I guess would be the only plan you could have against it. So, what do you think about that all SEC championship game?
Uh, I, I guess can't really complain because both teams earned to be there. So you know what I mean. I hate to see it all SEC all the time, but they beat everybody else. So let's have at it. I'm all for Georgia, man. I'd like to see Alabama get beat.
Uh, yeah, Georgia, Alabama too. You think Georgia can beat Alabama, or is Alabama going to beat Georgia for the second time this season?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's hard to beat the same team twice, but it's also hard to beat Alabama once. I think it could. I think it should be a better game than what it was last time. It's kind of
Mm,
like both of them, the way they did Cincinnati and Michigan. You'll probably find out in the first quarter who's going to win the game.
yeah. Um, Georgia looked good for the first time all season yesterday. Uh, I've been saying all season they were a paper number one, and I still think they were because they had the number 49th ranked schedule in the league as far as difficulty is schedule is concerned. They didn't play anybody until they got to Alabama the first time. So yesterday against Michigan was the first time, other than Alabama, that they actually played anybody that was worth a damn. It'll be interesting to see what they do against Alabama or if it's going to be a replay of the first game where they just got destroyed by Alabama. And it's not like Alabama beat an bad defense yesterday either. Cincinnati has a good defense. They are one of the top ranked defenses in the country this year.
Uh, just well, I would admit Alabama has a superior team, right? So like if they can control the game, they're probably going to win.
Yeah, everybody talking about how good Georgia's defense is. Yesterday was the first time I've seen it all season. You look at Cincinnati's defense; they were the only team all season was able to stop Notre Dame's offense. They shut Notre Dame down in that
Notre,
game.
Notre Dame lost today. I'm sure you
Yeah,
know.
I saw they lost to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma
That,
State was a
that
good
was
team this year.
that was a big scoring game.
Oklahoma State, they were a good team. They were in championship playoff contention until the last couple weeks of the season. They were not going to be a pushover for Notre Dame by any stretch of imagination, like you get in some of these bowl games where you get a really good team playing a team that barely qualifies for a bowl game. That was two teams that had a case for making it into the playoff, going all the way into the final week of the season.
We got the ball. 1 minute left. Where are we at? 50-yard line.
Yeah, for those of you who want us to talk about the match that's going on, I'm really not invested in it. So, yeah, Madcap Moss is basically an enhancement talent that's the lackey of Baron Corbin, or excuse me, it's Happy Corbin now. So I mean, Drew McIntyre, who is a top tier star, taking on somebody who's a mid carder at best, just not exciting me. It's been a decent match. I'll give Madcap Moss, his props for that. It hasn't been a bad match. Just I have no reason to be invested in it. Oh my God! Somebody actually did something smart when in that position for once.
Start streaming the football game instead.
Well, the football game's almost over.
We're at the 9-yard line. 36 seconds.
You know, it's funny we're talking college football. The last two, while watching the match, right? The last couple of podcasts that Arn Anderson has done, and the last couple that Ric Flair has done, it's basically they degraded into the same kind of thing where they're talking about either the NFL, the NHL, in the case of Ric Flair and Mark Madden on Ric Flair's show, or on Arn Anderson's show, they're talking about college football, and Tony Schiavone's too, for that matter. Now that I think about it, they're talking about college football. So, I think it's just the time of the year it is when you got the bowl games and the championship and everything going on. I don't know. Yeah, I don't agree. I don't disagree, MKGO. But as far as the story is concerned, it just there was nothing there to get you invested in the story. It's just a random match put together because people are out because of COVID and whatnot. Because there's apparently a outbreak of that going on in WWE right now, and it's changed up a lot of the pay per views. So there really hasn't been any build to this or anything. So it's a major build anyway. So it's like uh, it's a decent match, but there's no reason to get invested in it because it's not been a major storyline or anything. Which is what my point was when I was saying that. I mean, yeah, you're right. It wasn't a bad match. There was a lot of action in it. Both guys got their moves in and stuff, but as far as storyline, it just didn't do anything storyline.
Let's get a score while you're talking.
Yeah, I mean, based simply on the action of the match, I'd give it a 6. It was a decent match, but like I was saying, storyline wise, there was no investment there.
You're up, Jason. Jason might not be available right now. Okay, so I'll go. I'm gonna go with a 5. I thought it was pretty action packed, and I thought that the dudes were showing some pretty cool feats of strength. And I don't care about football, so I was watching the match and just listening to you guys talk. So I enjoyed it.
You know, I mean, I'm not trying to take away from the two guys in the match. They put on a heck of a show just there. But if you're watching because of a storyline, there was no storyline to get invested.
Oh, it's all over, Rich. It's all over.
Who won?
Buckeyes. Well, there's 9 seconds left, but went right out there. We got down to the 2-yard line and just went right out there and kicked a field goal. We were down 14 points this entire game up to a little bit ago, man. They had we and then every time we tried to come back, like I said, we lost 2 touchdowns by just fumbles and interceptions, but we battled back 14 points down the whole day. This game is 45-48. Lots of action packed. This is the game of the week. Those other 2 games weren't exciting like this at all.
It sounds like that could be a game of the year. What you're talking about it. Yeah, I didn't get to watch it, so I don't
There's
know.
well over 1,000 yards. The player stats on this are going to be something when they show it here in a minute for both sides.
This is why they should wait until after the bowl games to award the Heisman Trophy. A bowl game like that could win somebody who wasn't thought to be in Heisman contention the Heisman Trophy. You know what I mean? The fact that they give the Heisman Trophy away before the every game has been played is absolutely stupid.
Whew, what a game. Instant classic, man. Now we can concentrate on wrestling. I mean, instant classic. This game's had so much action. It's all over now. They tried to pitch around there on a kickoff. It didn't work. There was only a couple seconds. Wow. I think it comes down to that quarterback got hurt. I bet if that quarterback hadn't got hurt, Utah would have won this game because they were driving, getting touchdowns every time, just like us. And as soon as he went down, it allowed us to jump
Yeah,
ahead. Yeah.
but didn't you say that they scored a touchdown after you got hurt?
Yeah, but it was all because of pass interference calls that are questionable. It wasn't from the talent. That other kid played his ass off. Nice passes, nice runs. This kid just got lucky with a ref. That's all.
Yeah, you just say that because you're an OSU fan.
No, I'm talking about the other guy, man. I'm
I
telling
know.
you.
I was making a joke, Jason.
Yeah, it seemed to be one of them games where they were calling pass interference, but only on us. And we had at least 3 in the fourth quarter tackles out of bounds, and they didn't call it at all against us. Oh, our wide receiver, 346 yards receiving in one game, and it's the Rose Bowl. Those are big numbers. The record was like 2 something from like Keyshawn Johnson or something.
A Psych movie. I don't know if you guys watched Psych when that was on. That was a good show. The main character wanted to be a cop. His dad was a cop. His dad was was like the lead detective for the police department he worked for, and he was always teaching his kid how to do detective work and making him try and figure stuff out and whatnot. But he had an attitude problem and he was denied getting onto the police force. So what he goes and does instead is becomes a private detective who fakes that he's psychic using just the power of observation that his dad taught him to have, and ended up working as a consultant for the police department and solving all these murder cases and stuff, while pretending that he was a psychic the whole time. MKJO said he broke Chris Carter's old record. Now, if you're breaking Chris Carter's record, you're doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's in both college and pro football Hall of Fames for a reason, you know?
Well, the quarterback ended up 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. The interception was in the end zone for a touchdown, and another touchdown was fumbled away at like the 1-yard line. So, like, he damn near, well, and physically, he threw 8 touchdowns.
You know, we got another match starting. So, mute that.
The Street Profits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a decent tag team. This could end up being a good match. It's going to be them versus Riddle and Randy Orton.
Stay off the table.
Oh, man, it's Skateboard Punk.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Greatest group in the world. Never heard of them.
They're really, 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 really terrible. But I think they're from Atlanta.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
And considering that they're as terrible, they make millions of dollars and people love them.
No, well, of course, because nobody has any taste anymore.
And dude, I mean, it's disgusting. They are so not good.
Well, you can say that about just about every musical act today. My wife will put on Sirius XM and she'll put like Octane on, which is the hard rock heavy metal channel on there. And I'm just like thinking to myself, I wish she would change the channel. This sucks. I wish they would get more better championship belts. Why does every championship belt gotta look identical? If you're gonna have different tag team championships on each show, don't have each belt look the same and just change the color of the belt. That's stupid. I mean, the red don't look bad, the blue don't look bad, but for both championships, the Raw and the SmackDown tag team titles, the metal parts of the belt to look identical is stupid. It's laziness.
I'm thinking that the rap clowns, MKJO, are out there because they're from Atlanta.
Yeah, they're trying to play up to the crowd by having a homegrown thing there. You know.
He also says that the USC Trojan champion belt.
No, it's the Michigan State Spartans.
I thought those were green.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Spartans are green.
yeah, I know. I know.
That wouldn't work.
It could be It could be Troy State, Troy, whatever the hell it is. But they have that kind of Greek thing too. I don't know what their school colors are though. Uh, but maybe the guy who designed the belt is colorblind and red looks green to him.
Well, my coworker's colorblind with the red, and it would probably look more gray or brown.
Yeah, so I mean, they look. Yeah, he doesn't understand. The guy that designed it's colorblind. He doesn't get that it's red. He thinks it's a different color.
I worked with a guy when I worked in a little shop. He was a painter, car painter, right? Sometimes he'd paint a whole car. Usually he was just doing like repair work. You know what I mean? He was colorblind, and he'd been doing this for like since the 50s. Uh, he could paint and match cars. He'd ask you sometimes how it looks, but he'd paint and match cars just as perfect as it could be. He was colorblind.
Yeah, we always get a kick out of that when we're painting someone's house, and we tell the customer that my buddy's colorblind. They're like, "Oh, what? What? How's a painter's colorblind?" But we're not blending in colors, and he's only colorblind on the red.
So MKGO asks if your coworkers ever tried those corrective glasses to help with color blindness. The problem with those is they only work with certain kinds of color blindness. Depending on what type you have, they are of no help to you whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I think he might have, when he was in school, like played around with a little bit of it, but it doesn't bother him. He's used to it, and he can see otherwise fine.
Yeah, I got color blindness to I forget what level it's at, but yeah, those glasses do absolutely nothing when it came to my vision. Like I said, it totally depends on what type of color blindness you have because there's different types. In my case, it's like a 5% chance that they would actually do anything. It's funny. The one tech channel I watched, Jay's 2 Cents, the guy who, the main guy on the channel, he found out that he's colorblind because he was building like computers for somebody and telling him it was one color because he thought it was gray, and it turned out the computer was green. That's how he found out he was colorblind. His whole life he didn't know he was colorblind until that point. He's like 40 years old now. Nobody told him until that customer that the color he thought something was wrong. I don't know if that's a dick move or somebody not wanting to hurt somebody's feelings entirely too much.
If you use red Sharpie or any kind of red marker to write a note, my dude can't see it. It's invisible.
Wow. Yeah, that's bad when that's the case.
Yeah, it's pissed me off a bunch of times because I've sent him back to get the red labeled stuff out of the shop, and he's come back with the wrong thing. And then I blow up at him, and I'm like, he can't see it.
It's like dogs. What is it? You throw a red ball into a yard of green grass and they have trouble seeing it because green and red look the same to them. So, wait. Reigns can lose the Universal Championship because he got the super cold. That's fucked up. He's gonna be out of work what, a week, and they're gonna take the belt off of him? That's absolutely stupid. Everybody, place your bets. I'm going to throw a poll out there. I don't know how many people we got watching, but I'm going to throw a poll out there. All right. Oops, didn't want to do that. Wanted to do that. All right.
Did you post something? A poll?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. I
What?
put a
I
poll out
can't
there
see
in
it.
the YouTube chat. A simple yes or no question: are WWE going to hand Brock Lesnar the championship in the main event?
Tonight?
Yeah. With Reigns not being able to be in the main event, they are still having it be for the Universal title, which basically means they are taking the title off of Reigns because he tested positive for COVID, is what this amounts to.
What if he didn't test positive for COVID? And this is just a setup or part of the game plan.
No, WWE's had an issue with COVID for like the past month, where they didn't know if Seth Rollins was going to be able to compete tonight because he had it, and it was announced that Roman Reigns contracted it. And with Reigns, I don't think they would do that as a setup because of his medical history. Somebody who's coming off of leukemia, who has a compromised immune system because of it, getting COVID is a serious issue. MKHO wants to know if Street Profits win, will Migos leave with them? Yeah, probably because they came out with Mark Gay Bro, so they're gonna. The best part is there is no heel team in this match. Both of these teams are babyface teams right now. So, and then the best part is the rap group came out with the team that doesn't have a rap song as their entrance music.
Definitely, you, Rich, you have the best intro music of the night.
Huh?
You have the best intro music of the night.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to tell DM Foss that he's one of he did that whole thing. Oh, MKGO didn't see that, so maybe after this match I'll play the new intro so that he can see it. Now, so far we've got 2 votes and both said no. They said I don't know. I'm not even sure how many people are watching right now. It says there's 3. Yeah. Remember, if you don't say anything out there in the YouTube, we don't know you're out there. So say hi and let us know you're out there, folks, if you're out there.
Click subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah, that too. When you're done here, you can go back and watch the Christmas Eve episode from last week too. That was a fun show last week. Sometimes you need to do that kind of show to break the monotony and keep your sanity, you know? Can't be serious all the time. Oop. I think that's the end there. Unless, yep. I guess we won't find out your answer there, MKJO. Hit him with the RKO, Randy. RKO out of nowhere. If he were a heel, that probably would happen, but he's not a heel right now. MKGO says he stopped listening to Migos once he heard one of their songs. I didn't even know who the hell they were until Kingpin told me. So
Those guys right there, that ain't wrestlers.
yeah. But remember, they're the top band or group in the country. No idea who the hell they were until now. Never heard of them. See, two face teams.
Well, I usually don't grade very high because I don't like skateboard dude there. But I'll give this one a 5.
How about you, Kingpin?
I'm gonna go ahead and bump this one up to a 6. It was pretty cool. The little sentimental thing with the handshakes with the other team at the end was pretty good. But the last move that the skinnier black dude did, where he jumped over the turnbuckle and the metal stairs on top of both of those dudes, that was a move. That bumped it up to a 6 for me. That move was amazing.
Yeah, you know what the best part of that is? That is a Montez Ford specialty. He does that in almost every one of their matches. That guy is extremely athletic.
Yeah, he's good at it. I thought that that was probably my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, I can give that I'll go 6.5 on that one. I mean, there was some good athleticism from both teams on display. Randy Orton still has it. After 20 some years, the guy can still go. And I'm not the biggest Riddle fan, but the guy can go in the ring. I mean, the guy was an MMA fighter. He was in UFC and whatnot before he joined WWE. The guy legitimately can go. He's got a motor on him. And, you know, he's athletic and talented. And, oh, goody. This continues.
Oh, dude's getting jumped while he's interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's holding his own. Yeah, hell yeah.
Last gal
Take care of
kiss.
business. Oh, well. He's got a chair now. That's kind of fair.
It's all fun and games until somebody grabs a chair.
Yeah, that's kind of something I'd do.
Anyway, yeah, I'll go 6.5 on that. And that was the best match so far. I mean, the New Day and the Usos was good, but I think that loses a little because of how repetitive it's gotten at this point. But again, that goes to the tag team division. Well, speaking of tag team division,
dude just hit him with a frame from the lighting skylights.
Yeah.
He had the chair wrapped around his neck, and he hit the chair, so it
He hit the
folded
chair.
into his neck.
But speaking of the tag team division, they broke up the tag team of AJ Styles and the big black dude.
Oh, why?
They had the big black dude turn on AJ.
Huh.
So all three people that are out there watching have voted in the poll, and they all say no.
Makoto's got a good point. When Randy did the double DDT, pulling those two dudes in from outside the ring, that was a pretty neat little move. They pulled it off kind of well.
And Randy showed just how accurate he is with that RKO with Riddle throwing the guy up in the air, and then he hits him with the RKO in midair. But Randy's been doing that since he was started. I mean, that's been his thing. He can just hit that RKO out of nowhere from anywhere on anybody at any time when they're doing top rope moves, and Randy will hit him with the RKO out of nowhere and whatnot.
Hey, Rick, what event is this we're watching?
It's called Day One.
Day one. Okay.
Yeah, this is something that they're trying. Instead of doing a pay-per-view in December, they decided that they were going to do a pay-per-view on New Year's Day and call it Day One.
Well, I just seen a commercial for Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that'll be later this month.
Yeah, I didn't know if this was going to be it because that looked pretty good. I didn't know if that was a highlight of what's to come this evening or what. That's why I asked.
No, the main event tonight is going to be a fatal five-way for the Universal title because Roman had the nerve to go and get sick.
A 5-way.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds kinky.
I know, right? It's like, why do they give these things these names?
Headley.
That's heady. Oh,
Stampeding cattle don't sound like much of a crime.
Okay. What's your resume? Murder, rape, plundering, murder? No. Well, I'm trying to remember how it went, but the guy said rape twice, and then he looks at him and says, "You said rape twice." He looks at him and says, "I like rape, kinky."
No, he told him like stampeding cattle, and they was like stampeding cattle, and he was like through the Vatican.
Yeah,
like
that was a different
kinky.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Headley.
one guy. Yeah, there's just so many lines in that movie that are quotable.
Like the whole damn movie.
Uh-huh. They actually making a second one of that shitty ass movie? Oh no, it's a streaming. Okay. I'm just saying, well, why the hell would they make a sequel to that shit? And for those of you who don't have Peacock, they just showed a commercial for MacGruber. Yeah, this stupid ass Saturday Night Live skit about MacGyver that they turned into a movie. Yeah. MKJO wants to know if we think there's going to be a lot of extra side action tonight to make up for the Coco scripts. Yeah, possibly. I mean, they've already changed the main. They have changed the main event. So, hey, Lesnar's actually talking. Hold on, I want to hear what's Lesnar saying.
She's not bad side action, I'd say.
I think it's the most I've seen Lesnar talk. Oh, damn, he just took Paul Heyman's line. I think that's the most I've ever seen Lesnar talk by himself. You know how you can tell Lesnar is into what's going on? His attitude right there during that interview. You can tell when Lesnar doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't put any effort into it, and and he never talks when he's not into it. He never says a word. And like I said, that I think is the most I have ever seen Lesnar talk at one point. The man just doesn't say much, which is why he was always with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman did all the talking for him. So, what do you guys think? Was that interesting seeing Lesnar do that much talking at one time?
I didn't know that he didn't talk much.
Oh no, he doesn't. Lesnar hardly ever says anything. I mean, you had a Lesnar talking for over a minute. That's groundbreaking. He
I think
just
that
doesn't.
leans to what MK Joe was talking about. They're filling a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. And the best part is he wasn't bad on the mic. I mean, you never hear him talk. That usually means the guy's bad on the mic, but he was not bad there on the microphone.
But Brock's not bad on the mic. It's just depending on how censored he's got to be. Because when he was in the UFC, he didn't have any problem telling people he was going to rip their faces off and, piss down their throats.
Awesome, dude. I just got something great to work. Over on my TV, it's got a Kindle Fire stick, right? So it doesn't have a microphone or a camera or nothing. It's my TV set. I went ahead and typed in the StreamYard address for what's
And it
playing
worked
on the
on your
show.
TV.
Yeah, first it said no. It said no and everything, and then at the bottom it said go ahead and join without a microphone or a camera. And I clicked on that, so now I got the wrestling on my TV set.
Oh, cool. That would be why the second one's there and says device is not connected. I was wondering what that was about, but yeah.
But I got I got the picture.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It just says you're backstage, but yeah, other than that, it's full screen. It's crystal clear. I can take my glasses off. I never tried this before, but it works great.
Yeah, I've never tried it either. I've been tempted to hook my computer into my TV and use it as a monitor sometimes. Yeah, 40 inches is a lot better than 24 inches, you know what I mean?
That's what she said.
I knew somebody was going to go there.
Lean and mean. Probably take on the whole football team.
Uh,
I'll ask the 5-way match later.
no, this is the match that's starting now.
No, I mean the
Oh,
lean and mean.
you're talking about the preview that they're showing right now.
Oh, it's a wedding. That's what we've seen earlier. Jeez.
Yeah, they were renewing their vows.
There's a lot to renew right there. Who is that?
That is the Miz's wife, Maurice. She is a former women's champion in WWE and a former model in Canada.
Ah, I recognized all the back bacon on her front. So Edge don't want him to get married.
Edge and the Miz are feuding right now. So.
Are they both from Canada?
No, the Miz isn't Canadian. Can't make up his mind where he's from, but he's not from Canada. He's actually from Cleveland originally.
Hey, that's pretty close. Just across the lake.
Mm-hmm.
The missus.
Well, she is his wife. And their reality show is Ms. and Mrs.
It's just like Ozzy and Harriet.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they got a couple of kids, too. So I don't know. There's not much to it, so I don't know if it cost a whole lot.
Oh, yeah, she's a pretty girl.
She's Canadian. I think she's from Montreal. So there, I guess in a roundabout what kind of way, there are two Canadians involved in the match.
They don't kiss like they're in love.
The cameraman needs to pan down and show her butt.
They probably aren't allowed to, not the what you said, Kingpin. I mean the kissing part that Jason said.
Uh-huh.
This is the PG era. If it was the Attitude or Ruthless Aggression era, she would probably have taken her top off by now.
Uh-huh. That's a yeah, sure I do kiss right there, man. Gold digger.
Oh, he's using the Broad entrance again, or Brood entrance rather. This would be better if Christian were actually in WWE and not AEW, and he would come out with them with this entrance.
Hey, that's pretty cool right there. This match might get extra points just for entrance.
This is the entrance that him, Gangrel, and Christian used to use when they were the Brood back in the early 2000s. Late 90s, early 2000s. And that whole dumping the blood on him at their wedding vow renewal, that was a Brood thing. Edge is going more and more back to the old Brood kind of attitude Edge.
I don't think it's Edge, man. It's Mac from the Military Arms Channel. Look, he's got an AK and a foul.
Damn, Edge looks like he's in some of the best shape of his career.
Rich.
Yeah. MKJO says he's impressed how Edge has come back from his injuries. Well, not just Edge either. You got Christian. He's at the top of his game over in AEW. Brian Danielson, a.k.a. Daniel Bryan. I mean, all three of those guys were never supposed to wrestle again. And I don't know if you know MKJO, but Shibata is going to be making his return over in New Japan. That's another guy who had a severe neck injury that wasn't supposed to ever wrestle again. He's going to be wrestling in a couple of days at Wrestle Kingdom over in New Japan. Shibata's injury was so bad they literally, to repair the injury he had, decapitated him in the operating room so that they could put his neck back together.
Man, that don't sound good at all.
No. The worst part is New Japan documented his surgery and everything, and they had video of the surgery. So when I say that they decapitated him, there's video evidence of it. They almost completely took his skull out of his head.
Disassembly. Set this apart aside to later.
Mm-hmm. When's that? That's the 4th and 5th. It's Wrestle Kingdom. I'm not sure when Shibata's return match. I don't know if it's going to be on day 1 or day 2, but
What's that lady's medical condition?
what's what?
What's the lady's medical? The blonde-haired woman outside the ring.
Okay, I still didn't catch what you said.
What's her medical condition?
He's
What do you mean?
referring to her.
What's her medical condition? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, she's having a terrible allergic reaction. Her chest is super swollen.
I think she's allergic to silicone, maybe.
Spider bite.
Wow.
You can do a lot of things with a can of Fix-A-Flat.
She's probably got holes in her nipples to fill them up too.
Yeah. The trick is you got to get them even or she'll walk crooked. It's kind of like alignment on your car.
I didn't know the guy doing play-by-play was gay.
Hey, my big screen and the computer's on a delay, so I get to see things twice.
Nice.
MKJO, I just looked. The Shibata. It's the first spelling. MKJO. And oh, okay. But that match is on January 4th. It's night 1 when he returns. And they haven't announced who his opponent is.
Hey, man, yeah, I think you're right. That referee looks like that female swimmer.
It swam.
It just ain't fair when they got a rudder, is it?
Edge limping. They setting him up for the figure four from the Miz.
The strange part about it, Jason, is the referee just jumped out of the water and had time to finish this match while the other contestants were finishing the race.
She got done early. World record. State records.
What are they saying, Rich?
Miz, you suck.
I agree.
Ooh.
He may be a good swimmer, but sure is slow at counting.
That might be a side effect of hormone therapy.
He's using his head as a basketball. What did this announce table do to deserve this? That's all I want to know. I don't know. It doesn't look like he's holding his face.
A table
Well,
for two.
anytime you hurt your face, you feel it in your wrist. It's science.
Uh huh. Don't do it. Don't do it. The rope's going to break. Oh, no, he's okay. He's not Finn Balor. You guys remember that from SummerSlam, right?
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
forget that.
Figure 4. Nope.
I seen that coming. He set it up too much.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he took too long.
The dude with the suspenders did that move where he was going to go in and spike that other dude, and the dude moved. And instead of the dude with the suspenders hitting the padding in the back, he like flipped his back so he landed up against the ropes. That was pretty cool. I like seeing that better than the through the ring and hit the post that they've
Mhm.
done for 50 years.
Now, is the ref going to get distracted and Miz pull the old Ric Flair where he grabs the second rope? Okay, so Edge thinks he's Sting. That had vibes of Sting versus Ric Flair.
He's going to do the reverse figure 4.
Uh-huh. But as soon as Edge set up and gave him that look, that's the first thing that popped in my mind was the feud between Sting and Ric Flair when Sting was first challenging for the world title. You know, slingshot him into the corner. You don't see that very often anymore. You see that all the time back in the old days.
They should have practiced their version because that was pretty poor.
Oh, yeah. But you see that move the ref did? She slid right in there like a swim move.
All his years of playing Little League Baseball.
Yeah, that's summer camp 101 right there.
Great counter. Don't even know what the hell he's doing yet.
Yeah. That was like when it's like when you walk up to a stranger and
Thumb wrestling. Yeah.
you're not sure if you want to give the daps the handshake or the pound. So you're like, oh, and you're doing all that weird stuff with your hands.
You did the elbow thing. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
What is Maurice doing?
She's gonna
She's going to
pull him
put his
over
foot
there.
on. Yep.
Yeah.
And then hold it. You know damn well the ref had to see her holding his foot on the rope. She looked right at her. How many times have we seen that? Both guys kick each other at the same time.
Boot Hill.
Yeah, she does look like Trish Stratus. That is funny, MKJ.
Ah,
I'm going to assume you're talking about Maurice.
Yeah.
complete stratisfaction.
I was hoping he was going to go back to the whole Sting versus Ric Flair thing and just do the slam off the top rope.
I like that strip thing going down the middle she's got there. Little Y strap, I guess you call it. Yeah. Climbed more hills than Lewis and Clark.
It's probably the only thing holding the top up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Got a leash and the puppies.
Oh, she done something to him. What'd she do? Blind him?
She hit him. What is she doing?
I think she's gonna get Miz disqualified because she's gonna put her hands on the referee.
Or she's going to get kicked out. Or Edge's wife's going to come out. Beth Phoenix is coming out.
You're
Yep.
lucky, bitch. If I knew how to swim, I'd come over and kick your ass.
And she's in her wrestling gear, too.
Who's this? The ex-wife?
Yeah, Edge's wife.
Oh,
Beth Phoenix. She's a former women's champion, too.
oh
She's a
yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Let's get it on.
You know, all that money she could have got a real haircut instead of letting Patriot cut her hair.
Uh, thanks for the help, hon. So that girl right there, the blonde girl, she's not a wrestler, or is she a fighter? Or she just
She
didn't
used
feel
to be
like
a wrestler.
fighting. She just didn't feel like fighting tonight. Huh?
Uh, she used to be a wrestler. She shows up every so often when Midge has a big match, but she basically is raising their kids. One of those couples is made up of two Hall of Famers. Take a guess which one it is.
The referee.
Goody, a commercial.
What do you guys think?
Wasn't bad.
Yeah, I'll go 7 on this one, man. I was entertained, drawn into the whole match, getting better. Seven's where I'm gonna be at. That's a good number.
Rich?
Yeah, I agree with that. Say what you want, and people give The Miz a hard time because he never really does a whole lot of highly dangerous moves, but that's why he's had as long a career as he's had. He's had only one major injury his entire career, but he can do those simple moves and make you believe that he's going to beat somebody with them. So, I'll give you a 7 on that one.
I'm going to go with a 5. And 2 of the points come from the blonde hairs lady. And I think we know which 2 points she brought to the table. I thought it was rather boring and drawn out, and it seemed like they were fumbling around quite a bit with some of the moves for as elite, top tier wrestlers as those guys are. I'd like to have seen it be more crisp and really more active. I think they kind of. I don't think they got naps before the match. They looked like they were both kind of tired.
MKJO agrees with Jason and I. He's giving it a 7 as well.
Well, you guys can all 3 be wrong at once.
Yeah, he says he liked the ladies' involvement without really involving too much.
Yeah, that was good. You read that other comment right there. That's the one. But you're not gonna read that comment, Rich?
What? No, I don't see another comment.
That's a good comment right there.
Yeah, I did read that. The 7 because he liked the ladies' involvement was really involving not too much. What am I missing?
Let's see. How can I make this bigger? Where's that banner at? Let me make one of these banners.
And we got another interview. Bobby
Oh
Lashley being
shit!
interviewed now.
It's Wayne Brady.
I'd like to know what kind of drugs this guy does, and I'd like to see his weekly workout regimen.
Why do you want to see the little Irish guy's workout regimen?
I don't know. I mean, that suit's fitting pretty tight. I mean, look how big that. I mean, either that or he just needs a new tailor.
That dude right there has muscles on his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Hey man, that guy served our country. Yeah, I don't mean the little Irish guy. I'm talking about the big guy with the muscles on his eyebrows.
Yeah, Bradley Manning did too. So.
Yeah. No, he was a traitor to the country.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Not everybody that serves your country gets you.
But he served honorably. Okay, let's differentiate.
Yeah,
Lashley served honorably.
I would imagine. I think Bobby Lashley.
What did you scare the enemy to death?
Really? Jeez, man.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, I've never heard any bad press about that guy. He's probably a good dude.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a really nice guy in person and stuff when you meet him and talk to him.
But there's really no physical way that you can get a body like that without foreign substances.
It's all fun and games to you. Roid rage and kill your whole family.
Yeah, you should have seen some of the drill sergeants I had when I was in basic training. They weren't much smaller than Lashley. I mean, there was one drill sergeant. He was former special forces and air assault and all that. But he could have gone in and been a professional wrestler. He was huge.
Yeah.
A friend of mine always told me when they were like going through their basic training or whatever, one of the guys in line next to him or whatever was a smart ass punk or something. Said the wrong thing and they stopped him all and took him around behind a little building and beat the living shit out of him, and nobody dared look up or nothing. They say when they brought him back, he looked over and he put him back in line. He could just see the blood dripping down there, and he was like, "That's the day I realized, oh shit, these guys ain't playing around."
They don't got time to play around. They got to get you in military shape as fast as possible. There is no uh, coddling. They don't have time for it. Their whole thing is they got to break you down from what you are and build you back up into what the military wants you to be.
Coddling has actually taken place of most PT and military boot camp these days.
Yeah.
Coddling and then cry closet and then push-ups. But you only have to do
Now.
one push-up.
Yeah, now. I mean, the people that are going through basic training right now, particularly the females, would never have survived basic training when I went through it. It's absolutely disgusting what they've done.
If you can finish an entire blue raspberry push-up without doing the squinty sour face, then I think they make you an officer.
Yeah, same guy, my buddy, also told me he almost had to do basic training over again. He got
happens.
a sunburn. He got a sunburn so bad it put him in the hospital.
You'd be surprised how many times. It's what they call recycling. You'd be surprised how many times that happens where somebody gets recycled and has to go through basic again. It happens quite frequently. There have been whole classes that were recycled and put through basic again. Yeah, absolutely, MKGO. He said, "Yeah, that's a shame. Basic training has a purpose, and easing up on it isn't a good thing. No, it absolutely isn't. That's why our military is becoming a laughing stock with other countries."
Oh, is this the crazy doll girl?
No. Crazy doll girl is taking some time off.
Bonnet girl is pretty cute though.
Yeah, I think you said that the last pay-per-view we watched.
I probably say it every time I see her because she's pretty hot.
Yeah, yeah.
She's gonna break her arm. MKGO deleted his comment saying his wife's within earshot. That sounds more like she's within eye shot if you're deleting what you typed. That's an interesting outfit.
This show's already 5, 6, 7 for me.
Like I said, that's an interesting outfit.
Put your hands together, people. Here we go. So she can dance, honey. Feisty.
Rest in peace to Corey Graves' beverage. That knee lift was kind of weak looking. She needs to work on that. She going for? Yeah, she was trying to get her in her own submission move. Oh,
Stretch
too
it,
close
baby.
to the rope.
Oh, foot on the rope.
Yeah. I've been surprised by this match so far. I was not expecting Liv Morgan to be this competitive because they just haven't booked her that way.
She's been fiery. Well, I was giving her credit. Now she's getting her ass kicked.
That's the usual way that these matches go. The heels got to get their moves in at some point. God, I can't quit yawning all of a sudden. Ow! That couldn't have felt too good.
No.
Both feet to the back and then face to the turnbuckle.
I think the women
Uh,
wrestlers would be better if they wrestled in a smaller ring. It's like how she just jumped up on the ropes. She had to like really hop up there because she's short.
Part of that, I think, is inexperience too. She's still kind of green because she's never really been booked to where she was at the top level. She's always been used as more of an enhancement kind of role until recently.
What would put her right over the top? 20 crunches a day. If she would tighten up her midriff just a smidge to look a little bit more athletic,
Mm-hmm.
dang. Not that I have a problem with what she's got going on there, but as far as marketability, if she had just a little bit of muscle tone in her stomach, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that picky.
Well, she's got a lot because her butt's not all that special, but it's nice, and her boobs aren't all that special, but it's nice. She's just got a really solid package going on. The redhead chick is pretty hot too, but not the blonde hair chick is way better. There you go, Jason. that was look, hold up. That just happened. I can't believe that just happened. What's the movie Rob Schneider was in about being a gigolo?
Oh.
That
This big.
that's the hooker you ass punched. That's another thing they need to work on is they get a little over emotional when somebody kicks out or something like that.
They're doing a good job story wise in this match. They actually making you think that Liv Morgan might actually win this match.
That's kind of
I
how
don't think I don't think they're going to put the title on her, but they're doing enough to where they can add to that suspension of disbelief. You know what I mean? To make
Set
it
up
seem plausible.
another rematch at like a big pay-per-view event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been going at it for a few here.
No, I mean, you're 100%. Like, I'm sitting here watching it thinking, hey, this blonde hair chick might win.
This kind of reminds me of the matches when Ric Flair would take on somebody from one of the territories, and they make it seem like they were going to be able to beat Flair, and then they would go to time limit or something.
Yeah.
Yes, she can. She can go get her and put her back in the ring. How stupid are baby faces in wrestling where the bad guy goes outside the ring and they just stay in the ring? Go get him! You can leave the ring too. That always got me, like in the 80s when Ric Flair would pull that. He would go outside the ring and deliberately get counted out, and the baby face would stand there in the ring like, oh, darn, there's nothing I can do about it. Go get him. It's not like there's a force field around the ring keeping you from going outside, you know? Well, Stacy, it's a pay per view. Of course, it's still wrestling. Well, we did talk about college football for the one match. Oh, turnabout's fair play from the remember the segment or in the lead up to the match.
So, what does she have to pin or submit? Like, she can't get counted out or disqualified and lose the title.
Right. If this were like New Japan or Stardom, you can win the championship on a disqualification or count out, but in like WWE and AEW and that, you have to pin or submit the champion to win.
She was trying to cheat and couldn't reach the.
Damn.
She couldn't reach the rope.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that dude doing this, shaking his head, the thumbs down. He was like me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no. Now, the redhead's got a nice butt.
I'm wondering if she was supposed to get her foot on the rope there, but just was too far away.
Yeah. Why is she complaining about her eyes? Is that something in real life, or did the
Yeah,
girl?
she wears glasses and stuff. She may have lost the contact the way she was acting. Because
Yeah,
if you look when after the pin and everything, she was looking on the ring like she had lost her contact.
that's kind of what I thought was going on.
So, what did you think of that one?
I'll go.
Go for it, Jason.
Man, I'll go 8.5 on that one.
I'm gonna go up there, and I'm gonna go with an 8 as well. The chicks did a lot of entertainment. They were moving around a lot, showing some good strength. There's a bunch of cool moves. Some of them drop kicks off the top rope that blonde hair girl was doing were really timed well. And then both of them looked exceptionally hot tonight.
Yeah, I can see that. I go with an 8 as well. I mean, like I said, I was not expecting that match to be as competitive as it was, just from the history of how they've booked Liv Morgan up to this point. But they really let her shine in that match and show what she actually can do in the ring, which was a good thing, I think. So, and speaking of that match with Becky Lynch, there's her husband being interviewed.
And Kojo says that was a really good women's match. He gives it a 6. I'm gonna have to say that might have been my favorite match. The other match that I said was my favorite match was pretty good. Uh, the women being really hot and it helps this one out. But they did, as far as like actual wrestling, they did a pretty good job.
I don't know what's more shocking, the fact that they let Liv Morgan be that competitive in the match, or Brock Lesnar talked. If you follow WWE for any amount whatsoever, you'll get the point of that comment. Both of those are pretty shocking developments, shall we say. Damn, I seriously cannot quit yawning right now. What the hell the deal is?
I had a spell of that today, like 10 minutes straight. I just couldn't. I just yawned just now.
No, you worked all day, so. Or did you work today? So used to you working, I don't even know if you actually did work today.
No, I was talking about it with Jason a little earlier. This past like 2 weeks, I guess, has been quite slow, and I haven't done any side work at all. So regular job has been slow for different reasons. And then I just haven't had any side work because holidays, people got people in their houses and stuff.
You should have said something. I'm sure my wife could have found something for you to do.
Yes, send the cab to pick me up. I'll come out there tomorrow. I just dropped a toothpick off the side of my bed, and I can't find it. So that means I'm gonna pull my covers over myself tonight. I'm gonna stab myself with the toothpick. I found it.
And now we got a replay of what happened during the kickoff show. And we defeat this guy?
It's definitely a blank screen. There you go.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, Mystic, you still out there? All right, I got this question for you guys. Right now, I'm painting this engine block, and I've got the engine block and the oil pan painted red. I've got the pulleys and the pulleys all painted chrome, and the belt painted black. I got the fan painted chrome. I've got the intake manifold painted chrome. I've got the valve covers painted chrome. Now I've got the valves. Should I do the valves in the red, black, or chrome?
You're talking about
The valve
the
covers.
the cylinder
Now I
head or
already
the?
got. Yeah, the cylinder heads. That's what I'm sorry. I said valve
Yeah,
covers.
that should be the same color as the block.
Red. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the instructions. The instructions were made to paint the whole thing, put it all together, and paint the whole thing red. But that's stupid. Why would I do that?
Because that's the way. If you look at this engine block, the cylinder heads match the block.
Well, that's why I'm going to paint the cylinder heads the same color as the block, but I'm not going to paint the intake manifold and the belt and all that kind of stuff red like the stupid instructions tell me to do.
No, why would you do that?
Well, I mean, I guess this is, I don't know what age this is supposed to be for, but I'm not an artist by any means, but I have some considerable artistic skills, and I'm not going to just slap red paint all over everything because
Yeah, the manifold should be like an iron or steel color.
I made it chrome. Well, silver is what I'm going to use for
Yeah.
my chrome. But I like
Yeah.
resto mods. I'm not really. I do like the originals, but I prefer a resto mod. So you gotta
If
have.
you can find it, testers did have a stainless steel paint where when you used it, it looked like stainless steel
Yeah.
on the plastic.
Gray aluminum.
Yeah, I'll make a video. I just don't know if I'm gonna put out the video as I go or just wait till I'm completely done and then just put out a compilation.
Do like the computer builders do a little video here, a little video there, of when they're working on a major project, showing how it progressed from the beginning to the end.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about doing. Is once I finish painting my little engine parts, then I'll go back and be like, okay, here's all this crap and here's what I did so far.
Yeah, do a series on, and then you can do like a playlist of them.
You guys know Pro Carry Trucker.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing a lot of model videos lately. Where he's been putting different models together. He's hooked, man. Like, he even made a video about, I'm not buying any more models. And he was like, okay, I bought 2 more models.
For some reason, the thing just unmuted itself. I did not do that. I wasn't even on that window.
Making sure you were paying attention. That's all.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm even going to give the, one of those dudes that talk on the sideline.
The announce team?
Yeah, the announce team. I'm going to give them a thumbs up. They've been doing okay. The one wise guy who kisses all the bad guys' butts and was, totally in love with the Miz.
Mm-hmm.
Even he's been good. I mean, I know he's supposed to be annoying, but he's doing a good job at being annoying.
Tell you what, I don't know if you've been watching AEW stuff, but since Jim Ross has been out with his cancer treatments and stuff, Taz did a really good job for them, filling in for Jim Ross.
That's one of the guys out there now, right?
Oh, I saw a clip the other day. Jim Ross was back.
Yeah, he came back on Wednesday after he'd been out a month getting cancer treatments. He had skin cancer on his leg. He had to go through some short chemo treatments and whatnot for it.
Did you hear Caliper Corner this morning, Rich?
No, I was sleeping.
They're pretty good one.
Yeah,
He probably won't hear next week because he'll be like 2 hours early next week.
yeah. My wife had to get up at 3 o'clock to get our son to work, and I couldn't get back to sleep after that. So I came downstairs, watched Arn Anderson's podcast when it premiered this morning, and then I went back to bed after that was over. What in the hell is he doing? I don't know if you guys are paying attention to that entrance. I don't know what the hell you call that dance he was trying to do. Or why Seth Rollins is even trying to do a dance.
I'm not even on that channel. Is this the Brock Lesnar match?
I don't know. Typically, these pay-per-views end at 11, so it might be.
Well, I mean, you know who's in the 5-way tag team match? Is this guy one of them?
Yeah, this is it.
Okay, so this is the last match.
I couldn't remember if Rollins was or not. Then KO's music started, and like, yep, this is that match. I knew he was in it. I think the match originally was supposed to be him. No, it wasn't. It was supposed to be Reigns and Lesnar. So, but yeah, the whole thing's had a monkey wrench thrown in. I think he was supposed to take on Rollins and somebody else, and a 3-way to see or something. It was, but the whole thing's been had a monkey wrench thrown in. And they weren't even sure if Rollins was going to be competing tonight because of when he was tested positive for COVID. So, yeah. So that whole. Oh, no, wait, this might be Big E match. Shit, I don't remember who the.
No, this guy's in it too.
Well, he's on Raw though. He's not on SmackDown.
He's a part of the 5-man tag match thing that's about to happen.
Unless they're doing 2 5-man matches. We'll know for sure when if Brock comes out or not. But I think all these guys are on Raw now that I think about it. So I don't think this would be that match. Unless they're planning on moving somebody over to SmackDown. Which is entirely possible. You never know what the hell the WWE is going to do. No, they just said about Lesnar. Unless they added Lesnar to the Raw World Heavyweight title match, which would be weird. Yep, that's what they did. They added Lesnar to this match. Because this is Big E coming out now. He's the World Heavyweight Champion. So, no, they are not taking Reigns' title off of him. They are having Lesnar compete for the WWE title. All right, so now we got the confusion all sorted. Yes, this is the Lesnar match. Just not the one we were advertised. Not even the right brand we were advertised. You know, it'll be interesting if Lesnar wins this match because he would have been the guy to end Kofi Kingston's WWE title reign and Big E's title reign. He would have ended both New Day guys that have been the world champions' title reign. This is definitely going to be interesting. Mainly because you got Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley in this match. Both guys are legit amateur wrestlers. Both guys have been legit MMA guys. And they're both huge. And Lashley is staring a hole through Lesnar right now. They got to have Lashley and Lesnar go at it at some point in this match, right?
Sure, why not?
You got the two biggest guys in the match. At some point, they are going to have to collide. Somebody's car alarm going off.
Richard, is that our car? Is that our car beeping?
Man, that was a good one.
Yeah, I missed it because of my wife. Yay.
That was there you go. There's a lot of weight getting pushed through there.
Uh huh. Close to 600 pounds going through that barricade. But those guys are pushing 300. Yeah, before you ask, this is a no disqualification match. Oh,
That was clearly targeting.
Graves just lost another beverage. That's what, 3 now? Lashley's going to go into the bottom steps. Oh, double suplex onto the table. At least that's the plan. Lashley's not having any of it. Rock bottom? Yep. At one point, that would have ended the match because that was his finisher. Oh.
Well, good to
Oh,
see
there's
you back and feeling
spear on
better.
Lesnar. I saw Lashley over in the corner stirring. I thought he was going to go for the spear and then get caught for the F5. But no, that did not happen.
They timed it pretty well. So for Brock not being in the ring for a long time, he's still doing an okay job.
Mm-hmm. Big ending. Nope. Oh, F5. He he has now ended the World Heavyweight title reigns of 2 members of the New Day. If you're not keeping score, that's the Budio guys.
Well, I guess I was wrong in your poll.
Well, no.
Yeah,
The
me
poll
too.
question's invalid because it didn't apply. It's the wrong title.
Oh, you tried sneaking in a trick question, huh?
No, I thought they were having it for the Universal title, not the World Heavyweight, the WWE Championship, because the way they were wording things earlier, and they, you know.
Back into the era of the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, WWE champion. This man came in and absolutely wiped out the field. I've never seen a performance like that.
There are going to be pissed off people on the wrestling chats tomorrow on YouTube.
Yeah. Seems
They're
like
going to
he's
be
actually
fuming
hurt,
because
though.
Lesnar beat Big E for that title.
If you look at the way he's acting, it looks like he's actually hurt. Like he hurt his stomach somewhere.
Well, he may have. I mean, you never fully recover from. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I always pronounce it wrong. But
Whatever
that
stomach
disorder
disease.
that Lesnar had years ago, you never fully recover from it. Yeah, I think the only one that didn't hit his finisher in that match was Rollins. Everybody else did. The MJO's point of everybody pulling off their moves. I think Rollins is the only one that didn't get a chance to do his finisher in the match. But that end sequence, Lesnar, well, it started with Owens. Owens, Lesnar, Lashley, and Big E all hit their finisher at least once during that sequence.
See what I mean? See how he's like he doubled over right there?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I saw what you saw before. That's what I was saying. But it could be from the what is it, diverticulitis?
Diverticulitis, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because they say you never even after you've had the surgery, you never fully recover from it. So, well, what do you
that one was
guys think of
pretty
that
good.
match?
I give that one a 7. I thought that was pretty good. I knew something was going to happen. The two big guys just got beat up too early. Kind of didn't think any of them other guys had a chance.
No.
Yeah, Brock won. I guess I'm good with that. I like Brock.
Yeah, the big guys got beat up early because the big guys set themselves up for the littler guys to hit them with objects and stuff, which I think was a smart idea to do because you had Lashley take out Lesnar, which putting him through the barrier, which left both of those guys laying, and then they played it where Rollins and Owens took advantage of it by then hitting them with the steps, which took them out of the match for a little bit. But that was a smart thing to do because it gave the other guys a chance to do something as well. Otherwise, it would have been the Brock and Lashley show at that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7. I thought that like you were just talking about the fat dude with the red shirt and then the guy with the green pants were teaming up and they were pulling off some good moves, and it was I was feeling that vibe. I would have liked to have seen Brock do a little bit more wrestling as opposed to just power slam, get knocked out for 10 minutes, power slam, win the match. But I get it. He hasn't been in the ring for a really long time, so I give his performance about a 5 out of 10 overall, but the match I'll go with a 7. It was good.
Yeah, I think they said this was his first match in like 18 months. So yeah, it's been a while since Lesnar been in the ring. And it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but when you actually go back and you look at it, yeah, it's been almost 2 years since Lesnar's been in the ring.
I think I got a lot of entertainment out of the dude with the beard and the guy in the green pants working together. I thought that really stood out in the match.
Yeah, the guy in the red shirt, that was Kevin Owens, and the other guy was Seth Rollins. They're both very good.
Mikojo says that he gives it an 8. Captured a lot of action outside the ring. Love the splashes. And then maybe it was a little short for a 5-way match, but they did pretty well.
Yeah, I think they were running into time constraints, is what happened, because when they used to have the pay-per-views on the network, this is something I noticed, they would go past 11 o'clock. They would let the matches string out. But now that they're on Peacock, which is owned by NBC, they got a more hard set time limit that they have to abide by. And they would only have had 6 minutes left. And if they would have done anything longer, they may not have got it all in time. They may have, that match had to possibly have been cut short because of NBC's deals with the Peacock network and everything.
Well, let's run down the whole event.
I thought it was pretty good, decent. I mean, it was one of the better pay-per-views from the last year. I'll give it a 7 overall. Yeah, it's definitely better than Survivor Series that we just watched a little over a month ago. So, what do you think, Jason? Maybe Jason's not there. What about you, Kingpin?
Let's see. The announcing stood out to me this time, which is pretty good because you know me, I like old school Tony Schiavone, the way we were kids, the way it used.
Mm-hmm.
But the announce table guys, I thought did pretty cool. The women's match was really, really great for being a women's match, and you know, once again, how I feel about the women's matches. But I thought that it really added a lot to the show. A lot of the ideas were there. Some things just, obviously people get tired, people make mistakes, but all the idea for the show was there. So I thought that was good. And then, the bonus points for the guy actually getting hurt in real life and then them being able to finish the match with one of the people missing. So I'm going to go ahead. An overall event, I'll give it a 7.5.
Oh, I think this might be the first time you rated this show higher than I did.
Yeah, I was actually quite entertained by the whole thing. I thought that for my entertainment value and interest in the show, they did an excellent job.
Yeah, I think I'll rate the overall show too a little high. Well, 7.5 does sound about right. Wasn't bad. I thought it got better. So yeah, appreciate the invite for it, but fortunately, due to time restraints, I'm about out of TV time myself. But, glad MK Judge joined us again out there, man. Makes it a lot better.
So this is like the old NWA shows. We're sorry, folks. We are desperately out of time. We'll tell you what happens next week. That kind of situation, Jason?
Yeah. But thanks for inviting me, man. It was good to watch it. It was a good evening. Great start to the year, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, no problem, man. You're always welcome to these shows. You know that. And yeah, I mean, that was an entertaining show. I mean, it was, like I said, it was a hell. If you guys remember back to Survivor Series, it was a hell of a lot better than that shit show was. I don't think any of us ranked that over a 5 or higher, did we? when we were going through the ratings for Survivor Series?
I don't think so. That was pretty weak.
Yeah. So, well, they're off to a good start for the year. And a couple weeks, we'll see if that continues with the Rumble or not. So, until then, as far as pay-per-views are concerned, I don't think there's another pay-per-view between here now. I think AEW is doing a free pay-per-view type show on a Saturday coming up, which they're calling, what do they call it? Clash of the Belts or something like that, which is an old Florida Championship Wrestling name from back when back in the 80s when Florida Championship Wrestling was part of the NWA. And that old Florida pay-per-view had one of Ric Flair's best matches ever with him defending against Barry Windham. If you haven't seen that match, I think you can find it on the internet. I don't remember. You would have to look. I think it was Battle of the Belts or something like that. It took place, I want to say, in '86. So if you want to go back and relive old pay-per-view from back in the old NWA days, that one, just for the main event, is worth it. Ric Flair and Barry Windham put on a clinic in that match. Barry Windham is an extremely underrated wrestler. He is one of the best wrestlers ever, but he doesn't get the credit he deserved. Because I think because he never really held a world title, which is sad because you get people like him and to some extent even Arn Anderson, they don't get the credit they deserve because they never held the world title. Or Tully Blanchard or guys like that were at the top of their game at the time who really were some of the all-time greats. And some people, he never held the world title, so he wouldn't, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? But anyway, I know Jason's got to get out of here, and I'm like diverging into a whole other topic that would be a show for next week. But
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, guess we'll have to leave you for now, folks. Jason's got to get to bed. I think Kingpin's probably going to have to be getting to bed soon, too. Because both of these guys probably have to work tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, Monday at least. So we will catch you all tomorrow night for This Week Unloaded, which will probably be a year in rant review. Because I got some things that are just got me all pissed off from last year, so we may end up doing a rant tomorrow or two. So we'll see you tomorrow night around 8:30, folks. Have a good night.
Yeah, see y'all later, man. Have a good one.
Oh, wait, before we go, I got to show him, Jake, the new intro.
It's fantastic.
So there's the new intro, and we'll go out with the old one.
You guys are probably really scared right now, and I understand that completely. But I get the better of the deal, and even though it's 3 versus 2, you guys are outnumbered because we're better than you guys. Yeah, we are. We're legends in our own mind compared to you guys. Even though you guys got the egos, we have got the wrestling skill. And this guy right here, we're the Space Cowboys.